What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dream a Little, the podcast that's all about helping you feel confident about your kinks so you can share it with your significant other. Our guest today is Miss Katherine. She's a professional mommy, and you might have seen some of her work on Clips for Sale. Today, Miss Katherine is giving us a behind-the-scenes look at her studio, filling us in on her career as a professional mommy and how it's evolved, why her favorite clients are adult babies, and hearing about her sessions with ABDLs and their vanilla partners, which I found so interesting. If you have a partner who's vanilla and doesn't get your kink or doesn't want to be involved in any way, I think that hiring a professional mommy could be a really great option for you to experience your fantasies without involving your partner. Of course, you should always run it by your loved one first and get their consent before doing so. And it'll all depend on how open-minded your partner is towards the idea. But if this is something you're interested in, I'd highly recommend reaching out to Miss Katherine because she just gets it. She knows exactly what ABDLs want and why they want it. I really feel like finding a professional mommy online who gets this is pretty difficult because there are few and far between who actually enjoy it. So Miss Katherine is just awesome. For her contact info, be sure to check out thelittlelounge.com/100, which I will link to in the show notes as always. And one last thing, if you're considering opening up to your vanilla partner about ABDL, but you have no idea where to start, don't worry, I got you. Go to thelittlelounge.com/100 where you can download my free guide, The 6 Steps to Coming Out Kinky. All right, I won't make you wait any longer. Let's just dive into the interview. Hello, Miss Katherine. Thank you so much for coming on Dream a Little. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm real good, Lo. Thanks for having me.
I am so excited to have you on the show because I've seen some of your content and your videos, and I think it's just such good quality stuff, and you really understand the wants and needs of ABDLs. Is that because you are an ABDL yourself, or do you just have a lot of experience within the community?
I have a lot of experience within the community, but I'm also a real mom. So I've got a 12-year-old son, and so being a mommy comes very natural to me.
Wow. Okay, cool. So how long have you known about this, that this kink existed?
I've known about it since about 2009. It was one of my clients that actually told me about it. And I was doing massage with some domination fetishy stuff. And my client just said, "Hey, have you ever heard of the adult diaper fetish?" And I said, "No, I didn't even know there was such a fetish." And my son was like 3 years old at the time. And so he told me about Diaper Pill Friends and just several different, littles and adult diaper type websites. And I just looked at it and I couldn't believe it because I just thought, wow, I'm doing this every day,
Yeah.
And it's so cool. And he said, and what's so funny is there's hardly any professional mommies out there. And I'm just like, no way. I couldn't even believe it. And he said, he just feels like, because I asked him why, and he thought maybe that there's just a misconception or who knows what. But we gave it a shot, back in 2009. And he's like, "Oh my God, you're just a natural at this." I'm like, "Well, I do it every day." That's how I got started. I love to be a mommy. I love to be a mommy in real life, and I love to be a mommy in sessions and in video.
What's your favorite thing about playing the mommy role in a kink sense?
I just love the nurturing aspect of it. And I love the fact that people that come to see me, they realize that they're safe and they're not going to be judged. And I really do have unconditional love in my heart for these guys. They're just awesome. It's like my favorite session to do.
It seems like it takes a lot of trust when you do a live session. Are you sometimes these people's first ever experience with having a kink fantasy come to life?
Definitely.
Oh
and,
gosh.
I've been doing this even before 2009. I mean, I actually started in the adult industry in 1999. So I've been doing this a long, long time. And a lot of times people in this area, I mean, they come see me because they know I've been around a long time and they know I'm a good lady and I'm not ripping people off. And so they trust just the history that I have in the community.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I do see a lot of first timers. I do. And we all have a really good time.
That's great. That's awesome. So in the videos, your house looks amazing. Is that actually, I've always wondered, is that your actual house that you use for filming and that's where your nursery is as well?
Yeah. So believe it or not, we actually have 3 different locations that we film at. As far as the house and the nursery goes, we have 2 different houses that we sometimes film at, and then my nursery, which is different. And then, of course, public stuff, which is a whole nother.
Yeah. So are the clients that you have a lot of local people in your area, or do you also have clients who fly out to see you?
Both. Yeah, they're mainly locals, but I've also got people that fly out to see me. I would say every so often I'll have somebody that will come from another country, which is really neat.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, and bring them back. And yeah, we have a ball. We just are like a big happy family and have a really good time.
That's great. So how open are you about your career with your friends and even your family? I know you have a son.
Yes. So my son is 12, and my family, as well as my son, they all know. And they all just kind of laugh and roll their eyes because I've always been like, the unicorn or the black sheep of the family, the ones that, yeah, that nobody ever really got. But I'm an artist, and so not only do I do the paintings for art, but I feel like my videos and my session really is almost like an art form in itself. And my family knows, my son knows, as I said. My vanilla friends do not know because they don't know because unfortunately they can't handle it. I wish they could. I tried that like 1 or 2 different times, like revealing what I really do to vanilla friends, and it just didn't end well.
Really? Were they kind of judgy, just didn't get it?
Yeah, they just didn't get it. And what's so funny is I really thought they would, because one of the vanilla people that I revealed this to, they're swingers. They're swingers. They smoke pot. I mean, you think, oh, they're as open-minded as they come. How could they not get it and be open-minded about it? But they just didn't. And so I just learned my lesson. Just stick with people that are already fetish friendly and open-minded, and kind of aware. And that just works out better for me personally.
Yeah, that's true. You would think if they're so open-minded about sharing their partner that they could grasp the concept of something a little bit more taboo. And it's just so ironic because what you're doing at its core is so nurturing and innocent and loving, but people just don't see it that way from the outside.
Yes, I completely agree. It is so therapeutic to people. I mean, and that's so funny because most of the people that I see, they say, I have been into this as long as I can remember. I mean, literally more times than not, people are telling me they've been into this since they were like 8 and 9 and 10 years old, that this started way early. And so it's better than therapy for these guys, because even if they went to see a regular counselor, a counselor isn't going to be able to diaper them and put them in a nursery and do the things that I do with them. And so, I mean, I've had even a lot of guys tell me that it has saved their marriage, because their wives don't want to deal with it. And so I really do look at it just as therapy.
Yeah, that's a good option that I never considered. If, maybe if your partner doesn't want to do that stuff, maybe they'd be open to letting you work with a professional like yourself to kind of live out those fantasies and not feel like they're kind of missing out on something.
Absolutely. And, there has been a few times that men have brought their wives, and not very many, but sometimes.
Really?
And I love it when that happens. I love it because that's so cool. The wives' part to be that open-minded to let their husbands get properly dealt with, for lack of a better term, And
yeah.
I wish that would happen more often, and that they would look at it as literally therapy. Just like some people go get a massage or they get a haircut or whatever. It's just therapy, and just like any other need, people have needs, and they just need to get that met.
So are these wives, when they're coming around, are they kind of just looking to get a woman's perspective on things as an outsider? Or are they actually like coming for some coaching to like learn some mommy hacks from you and be involved with the scene?
Probably both. Now, the times that I've seen ladies with their husbands that have come over, most of the time it's like a birthday present to their husband. There's been a couple of situations where they said, well, my husband has bought so many of your videos, and I saw at the end that sessions were available, and, I just wanted to give this to him as a birthday present. So
what a cool wife.
I know, right? That's what I'm thinking. That is so, so cool. But, that's what keeps their marriage together. Because if they're not into it and they're not going to deal with it, how nice is that for them to go ahead and take them somewhere where it can be dealt with,
Yeah. So is it usually a positive experience when a partner, like a vanilla partner, comes along?
A positive experience when a vanilla partner comes along, you mean with them?
Yeah, with them. Or do you ever get someone who shows up and is like, I don't understand this and this is weird? I guess they wouldn't even make the trek out to see you at that point, probably, if they were that close-minded.
Yeah, I see what you mean. No, it's been hugely positive. And in fact, by the time we're finished with the session, we're all laughing, we're hugging each other. I mean, it's just like we're family,
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
How do you get past the initial awkwardness when you're first kind of warming up? Do you typically just get straight into the roles, or is there kind of a getting to know each other phase before you dive into the role playing?
Definitely a getting to know each other phase. So, most of the time they'll either reach out to me on FetLife or some sort of email contact, and they usually will talk a little bit about what they're into at that point. And then before we ever set the session, then I will talk to them again on the phone. And then I'll talk to them a third time when they actually come over, because I really do want to know what makes them tick. Because, they're hiring me. They're hiring me to take care of their needs. And so I really want to know, what is it that trips their trigger? And there's so many different variations of adult babies. You got adult babies, you got diaper lovers, you got sissy babies. I mean, there's just all different kinds. And so I ask a lot of questions. And it's not because I don't know what to do with them. It's just so that I can get help in understanding, again, what makes them tick, so that I'll know which direction to go. It's kind of like they're giving me the ingredients to bake the cake. And then once they give me the ingredients, then I just bake the cake.
Yeah. That's a great analogy. I love that.
Yeah.
What kind of questions do you ask when, you're going through this getting to know each other phase?
Usually I ask them how long they feel like they have been into this. And I kind of want to know if they've seen anyone before and how did that go? Was it a good experience or a bad experience? I kind of want to know how they got into it to start with. And if they are married or have a girlfriend, if the wife or girlfriend knows or doesn't know. I like to know if they're into cloth or disposable diapers, and if they are into rubber pants, and if they prefer to be a male or female, baby.
There's a lot of moving parts to this.
There is. There really is. But most importantly, I need to know, and I may have already said this, but I need to know if they're a DL or an ABDL.
Very different.
Yes. Oh, yes. Because if it's an ABDL, they're going to be a baby. And if it's a DL, then most of the time they just want to wear a diaper and get a massage, really.
That sounds like an easier kind of client in a way.
Yeah. But, I enjoy both so much because they're both great. And whenever they are an ABDL, then I get to put on more of the mama hat, and I put them in the clothes, and we, get in the floor and play with toys. And sometimes we make little handprints, which is really sweet, and blow bubbles. And also what I need to know is how much time can they spend with me? What do their finances allow? Because sometimes, just an hour is all they can plan on. And sometimes they want to spend 3 hours or all day. And
do you do overnights, by the way? Sorry.
Yeah, I can't do overnights. I wish I could, but I'm married and I have, the 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And so they expect me to stay home. So what I do with the guys that do want overnights is a lot of times they'll just get a hotel that's close to my nursery. And I'm very happy to make out-call appointments to them. And so we can play in my nursery, and then perhaps I can follow them to their hotel and tuck them in for the night. And then sometimes they'll make an appointment, the next day where I come back to the hotel and I wake them up and we, go out places for the day. We've done that several times. And these adult babies are just precious. They love to go to the mall, to the zoo, to the park, to Six Flags. I mean, they love to go places, and I love to take them, and they're always diapered. What's interesting is when we go these places, I mean, they always are fearful in the beginning that, oh my God, people are going to notice I have a diaper on. People don't notice. In fact, if they see anything, like I've taken adult babies out in even my stroller before to the mall. Yeah. They were wearing a bib and a bonnet and the whole bit. And what's so funny is people, at least in Texas, I don't know about anywhere else, but they're very concerned. They don't look at us badly. They look at us with kindness and concern because they think it's a special needs person. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they're like holding the doors for us and very, very polite.
That is really interesting.
Yeah. So it's completely a different, what's the word? It's a completely different response than what people would think.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I would never, that is way too embarrassing. I don't think I could ever do that, but that is very brave of you to try.
Yeah. Oh, we love it. We love it. It's a ball. And, but we don't ever triangulate other people into it. I mean, people could make the argument, oh, well, because you're out, you are triangulating other people. But really, people aren't even paying any attention to us. I mean, they may get the door for us or something like that. But the way I gauge this is, what if I was out with my 12-year-old son and I happened to see someone doing what we're doing? Could I explain that to my kid? And as long as it passes that kind of litmus test for me, being a real mom, then I think, you know what, we're probably good then. So like if I take someone out to the park, for instance, and they want a diaper change out there, I'm okay with giving them a diaper change, but we just wait till people are gone. As long as you're patient and as long as the people are gone, then it's fine. You can do diaper changes at the park. You can even do diaper changes in the dressing room at the mall, because it's not like somebody's going to bust in and say, hey, what are you guys, so there are private places that you can go publicly.
Yeah, I like that. You can get that little thrill, but still not be involving people who aren't consenting.
Exactly.
So do you have a favorite type of session that you do with your clients?
I love the adult babies the best.
You do?
They're so sweet. I love you guys. I do. Well, of course, I love the DLs too, but yeah, by far, DLs and ABDLs are by far my favorite. I mean, I also do disciplinary, like spanking sessions, and I cater to cross-dressers and medical fetish people, but by far, my favorite are the diaper people, for sure.
Wow. Awesome. So have you ever had like a bad experience when you were doing a live session with someone?
Not with any diaper people, no. The only bad experience I've ever really had is people trying to push the envelope, and it's what I refer to as topping from the bottom. So, like, I'll just give you an example. So, for instance, I do, in some sessions, the pantyhose fetish. And these guys that are in a pantyhose, they want to touch the pantyhose and do face sitting with me wearing pantyhose on and stuff like that, it's all fine. But just sometimes they get just a little bit too handsy and grabby, and, no means no. And I'm the one that's in control, not them. And so if they continue to push the envelope, then I ask them to leave. But, in all the years that I've done this, literally, I've only had like 3 that I've had to stop the session early. Most of the time, the people are very, very respectful, regardless of what we're doing. And they understand that, how the thing works, that, they are not in control, but I'm in control. They're not. And they just respect that, which is good.
It's like with anytime you're involving kink, whether in a relationship or you're with a client, no means no. You have those hard limits. and you have to respect them or else there's no play happening after that.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, I'm really curious to know because I've seen a few of your videos. Who are the guys in the videos? Are they people that you know or are they actual clients? Are they really ABDLs?
Yeah. So the primary model that I use, the primary male model, is the boyfriend of Miss Allison. So I don't know if you've seen any of the videos that's got Miss Allison in it. She's a little blonde. She's adorable.
Yeah.
Well, the dark-headed model that I use is her boyfriend. Anyway, it works out really good because we've got great chemistry between us.
Yeah.
And he's awesome. He's been in more than I can count. If you ever saw the video that involved Siri, because we had done Siri writes out your diaper fetish, become self-aware, your diaper fetish. It was awesome. So he played the guy, in the Siri video. And, he's been in a bunch of others, but he's primarily the one that I use. And he is definitely an adult baby. I really prefer to only work with people that are genuinely into the fetish because their mannerisms are different and the sounds that they make are different and the way they react is different, than someone that's not into it. You know what I mean?
Totally. I've seen other videos done by other studios and you can just, right away who's actually into it and who's just playing a part. And sometimes they're playing the part very poorly.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And then sometimes my camera guy will sometimes do it. And that's good because he's really open-minded and very fetish friendly and all that. So, yeah, sometimes he's the one too. But mainly it's Andrew.
Wow.
And it's okay that I say his name. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you know what? It has been such a great time getting to know you and getting a little behind the scenes of your work and your studio. It's all so interesting to me. So thank you so much for sharing.
Sure.
So Oh yeah, of course. So how would someone go about booking an appointment with you? What's the best way to reach out to you?
So they can email me at nurturingdominant, DOMINANT @hotmail.com, or they can email me through FetLife. My screen name on FetLife is Sweet Mistress Cyn, CYN, short for Cynthia, or they can call me at area code 512-591-8174. Any of those ways is just fine. If you're local, then really all I need is about a day or two notice, and that's perfectly fine.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much again for coming on the show, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people reaching out to you, and I would definitely recommend you to anyone who's listening because you're so good at what you do. I love it.
Thanks, Flo. I really appreciate that, and I love what you're doing as well. It's great. So thanks again for having me.
Of course. All right. You have a great day.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.